talk about the gear we got on. The new brand Backer has been dropping some heat with these jackets. I got on the Cool One pullover, which has a cooling sensation to the touch. It's comfortable and it's warm but not hot. And what piece do you have on?
Dry One coat.
I heard that is the first UGA licensed tape seamed coat in history. And I've heard if it's not tape seamed, then it's not truly waterproof. It is also built for layering, so it's meant for style. If you want to throw something inside of that, you know, kind of fashionista of your fit. And for you Georgia fans, TPL is taking care of you. If you use code TPL free, we are taking care of all shipping costs. And not only that, but Backer is in huge support of UGA athletes. 10% of all purchases will go right back to the UGA athletes and take care of all of our needs. Make sure you go check out Backer today. That is BCKR today. Go Dogs. On Dog fans, I'm your host Jacob Hardie, and we are back with another episode of Beyond the Hedges, powered by TPL. I'd like to give a big shout out before we start this episode to our host, Athb&B, the Rushmore, located in 5 Points, Athens, luxury bed and breakfast. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Peachtree City's finest, Fayetteville zip code. One-time SEC champ, future Michael B. Jordan, Brandon B. Mathis. Appreciate you for joining me today.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Man, how you feeling?
Feeling great. Can't complain.
That's good. That's good. We got another SEC opponent this week, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. How you feeling about them?
I feel pretty confident. I think we can go in, we have a good game plan, you know, get the job done. So
okay, so I want to talk about your journey to Georgia, right? Mm-hmm. So you came from University of West Georgia,
right?
What was your recruitment like? You know, going there. How did you end up here at Georgia? You know, what was that whole transition, that situation like for you?
Yeah, so basically my recruitment was kind of slow at the start. I didn't really start getting offers or any looks until late junior year, and it was only like some small like Division II schools, and I got a little bit of like looks and interest from some FCS schools and like lower FBS schools, but none of them really came through.
For sure.
And so I remember getting my offer really late, like in February for West Georgia, and I was just like, no, might as well just take this shot. It's a good school. It's not too far from home.
Right.
You know, football's pretty good there, so might as well take it. And so I went there. You know, I had a decent experience there. I mean, it wasn't. I couldn't see myself being there long term.
For sure.
It didn't feel like home necessarily. You know, I had some friends there though that I do miss. That's probably like the best part of there.
The relationships you make everywhere, yeah. That's
exactly.
what you miss the most.
Exactly. But you know, everything was fine there. Football was fine. I was on special teams there. I didn't really play that much running back, so but I remember once I got the opportunity to go to Georgia, shout out Jonas Jennings. Man, he put me on with Coach McGee, and I was able to talk to him, build a little relationship with him, and you know, then he gave me a PWO. So the rest is history. So
man, that's what's up. So I want to go into that relationship with Jonas, because I mean he's been a great help for me, even getting out of football. He's always been in my corner. Him and Gant, actually, those are the first dudes dap me up every time I see him. What was that relationship like with him, where he felt, I don't even want to say comfortable, but you know, he kind of felt obligated to help you a little bit, where he was like, man, I know I can get him at one of the best colleges in the country.
Right.
I want to go do that for him. You know, how did that relationship start?
Well, I think it all stemmed from I've known him since I was probably around like 5 years old.
For sure.
Because his mother was my mom's patient. And so, and he's a big family guy, and you know, like loves his mom to death, of course. And
obviously.
So when he saw my mom taking care of his mother, I feel like he felt more, you know, inclined to help me and take care of me in a way, pull me under his wing. And so that's exactly what he did. Like when I told him I always wanted to play for Georgia, like he didn't just like throw that away in the corner. Like he took that to heart and did everything he could do to help me out. Man, so
that's what's up. That's a touching story. You got me about to cry. That's crazy. I didn't know it actually happened like that. I know you said Jonas had helped you get here, but I didn't know it was to, you know, that much story and background behind it. So like you said, you met with Coach McGee, who's now the head coach at Georgia State. But when you came in, if I remember correctly, you came in our junior year. Last year was your first year, correct?
Yeah.
So
correct.
The running backs would have been Trevor, Branson, Cash, Rod was, you know, battling injury, and then Nate. So what was it like? And then, you know, me.
The one and only, man.
Yeah, you know, so what was it like? Because, you know, I remember that those stressful days me and you had on scout team them first couple times when Coach Crawford left us to fend for ourselves them first couple weeks. and we had to go up against that #1 defense with Jaywalk and Chaz every day, just subbing back and forth every day. Those first couple weeks were hell.
Man.
But what was it like, coming from West Georgia? Obviously, there's all due respect to their program, there's clearly a difference in caliber of football, intensity and practice. Everything amplifies. Going from West Georgia to a SEC powerhouse like University of Georgia. What was some of the first things you had to get accustomed to?
Oof. Definitely just the speed of everything.
Right.
Because they were not lying when they said Georgia SEC football is fast. It's just as fast as hell. Like, it is unlike any other school like I've ever seen, like off YouTube clips or whatever, or definitely West Georgia. So I definitely had to adjust to the speed of everything. So that included also just not just practice, but meetings were fast paced. I felt like walkthroughs, all that. And there was just, I guess, the volume of everything, because I feel like at West Georgia, like we got the job done, like we did everything we needed to in practice, but Georgia, it's just times like 1,000, like walkthroughs.
Yeah,
walkthroughs.
Walkthroughs.
Like
walkthroughs.
when we first did a walkthrough here, I literally thought we were just walking through, because that's what we did at West Georgia.
That's just the word.
And so when I remember D Hill threw me in the fire, and I was like, wait, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Like, they're doing all these signals. I'm like, man, and I'm like, okay, wait, I actually got to run and lock in too. So like on top of that, I was all stressed out. I was like, man, I got to get used to this. So
that's crazy. You know what? Jack's going to love this. I'm about to give him a quote post. To attest to the part you just said about how fast-paced the meetings are, I remember my sophomore year, I was not doing hot in school, right? I was eligible, but I was not doing my best, right?
Right.
And my dad was like, man, Jacob, like, what's going on, man? Like, what's your hardest class? I said, Dad, my hardest course I'm taking is the offensive playbook.
That's real, though.
I don't know what I'm looking at this stuff like algebra. I'm looking at it. It's worse than econ, micro and macro. It's worse than legal, all that. I passed all that in one semester. It took me 2.5 years to fully understand the playbook to the point where it was like, okay, now I can teach it to. Now I remember Chauncey and Dwight, they were on the show and they talked about how me and you help them with, understanding the playbook, learning certain things like, hey, this is what you got. And I know we took a emphasis in that spring season before they came to make sure, they got their help. But yeah, no, that playbook, those meetings, you fall asleep for one, especially, you're tired, you're tired, you fall asleep for 1 second, it feels like you're 8 days behind.
You're cooked,
yeah,
I'm telling you, man.
And of course, you're going to get in on the one play you don't know.
Yeah.
They're going to run,
100%.
They're going to run everything right before you go in. And
Right.
then when it's finally the one rep they give you, they're speaking gibberish.
Exactly. Or a fastball that you don't even know. That'd be the worst thing, too.
Yeah, when they say some random word, pizza, and you're like, I'm good. Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
And all the coaches are watching you, you're like, man.
And it's getting popped up on tape tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's coming on
the team room.
So then, coming in as a running back, obviously, I never did anything to build it up, but I like to rep the RBU thing. If I could get it tatted, I would. I might, maybe.
That'd be fire.
Possibly. But I love to say that I am a part of that family. Whether I did it on the field or I was just in the room, I love to say, like, hey, I was a part of RBU at Georgia, one of the most prestigious running back universities in the country. What did that mean to you, especially saying you always wanted to play at Georgia, and then coming here and seeing the Dawgs we had when you came and the Dawgs we still have now, Nate's, Chauncey's, Branson at the time, Trevor coming in from Florida? Like, what was that like where you're like, man, I'm really a part of this history?
Yeah.
There's a lot of tradition, not only just in Georgia football, but specifically that running back room alone.
Man, it just feels like such an honor just being here. Like the tradition, everything that comes with being a running back here at the University of Georgia. Like I'm I may not be like the #1 guy, but like I see it every day. Like I see what it takes to be the #1 guy. I see what it takes to be a legend like Herschel Walker or Garrison Hurst. Shout out G30.
Shout out G30.
So it's so surreal being here, getting to work with some of the top guys, my guys like Nate, Chauncey, Dwight, all of them, and being able to help them while they help me. We all help each other, to be the best player we can be. And so I just love it every day, working with them. And yeah,
I'll say, for me, one thing Coach McGee did and one thing Coach Crawford continued when he took over was they really make sure that running back room feels like a family.
Yeah,
like
that
to
is
the point
true.
I love Miles and Terrell to death, but I would be lying.
You love
KT
us more
as well.
You love me more.
But when I think of one thing I miss in from not being in the team, it is that running back.
100%.
Every time I see y'all boys, it brings a smile. Even Chauncey and Dwight when they were on this episode, Micah Bell came on this, Gannon, as you know, came on. It's like I'm smiling from ear to ear because I'm like, man, I miss being with y'all. I don't know if I miss practice, but I miss being in those meetings with y'all. I miss being in those meetings with y'all. And I saw that family aspect, play into this game we played against Alabama this last week. The running back room did really good.
Exactly.
Chauncey averaged, 9.9 yards per carry, I think. At one point, it was 10 yards. He averaging a first down every time he touched the ball. 100 and something yards on 12 carries. In my opinion,
crazy.
Kind of his breakout game, let's say. He had a 2-touchdown game versus Austin Marshall, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was Austin.
It was Austin P. Austin P. Check me on that. He had a 2-touchdown game versus Austin P. But this game where it's primetime television, we're not the game of the week, but we're one of the games of the week.
Right.
And a redshirt freshman comes out and does that.
Yeah.
What was it like, watching that for yourself, seeing, especially you came in with Chauncey.
Yeah.
You transferred in and then he was an early enrollee.
Right, during that spring.
Exactly. Watching that, progression. Because I remember, not to dog him, I remember when, he first got here and he was a deer in headlights, like all freshmen are. You know what I mean? Like all freshmen are. He's always been, ridiculously God-given, gifted talent. But, it takes time to learn things. And then seeing that, this kind of, it hit this week, this season really, because he's been balling all season. What was that like to witness for you?
Yeah, so my boy Chauncey, aka Quincy,
Quincy,
man, that's my brother, man. That's my dog. He was one of the first people I feel like I talked to and actually connected on the team, and I got to see him grow and really develop ever since he first got here. He's just been working super hard. He puts his head down, doesn't say a word, and just keeps working.
Agreed.
He's probably one of the most humble kids I know on the team.
Man, yeah.
And he's just the connection is really there. Like when they talk about connection on a football team, I can see it through him because, he's cool with everybody. I feel like.
I can't name one person who don't like Chauncey.
Exactly, and that's a cool dude to be around. If. I remember he's giving me some rides when I need some rides. Generous people.
Yeah, Chauncey's a good dude.
Exactly. So that's my boy. So I'm super proud of him. I know he's got great things in store. I'm excited to see what he can do this season.
So then going into a little bit of the I don't want to say negative, but not as positive things from this past weekend. Clearly, we took a loss to them sorry dudes in Crimson, and the game didn't go how we wanted. Right. Mm-hmm. What is, the vibe around the team coming back into this week? Clearly guys were down after the game, but 24-hour rule. We got a game to play this week, just like Coach Kirby says, on to the next one. Mm-hmm. You can't keep sulking in the past. What is the vibe, coming into a Monday practice meetings for Kentucky, the opponent we have to focus on this week, after taking a loss like that?
I think the vibes are that, we need to keep eating. We still hungry. For sure. We may have taken a loss, but we did a lot of good things during the game, and I feel like we can. There's obviously the mistakes that we did during the game. We can execute better and learn from them. So I think the vibes. Everybody seems pretty. Just they're not content, but we're ready to work. We're ready. Right. So it's like now that SEC play is really happening. We're like, okay, yeah, we're locking in
for sure.
We don't care who we playing next. We don't care the record or whatever. We trying to go all the way.
Play our best game, yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like everybody today at least was very locked in. That's all I can say.
And I will say this, looking, they say history repeats itself, and I'd hate to use that mantra in this situation, but I think it'll lead to a positive.
Yeah.
Last year we took a similar disappointing loss to Alabama, and fans, y'all wrote us off. And I remember the whole mantra Kirby always has. He loves playing that backstabbers anthem. By the good old the old boy song. Mm-hmm. And he'd always say when you're doing good, they're gonna pat you on the back, and as soon as you slip up, them knives are coming and they're gonna stab you in the back.
I'm telling you,
right? That same mantra he kept pushing, hey, now y'all see the outside world has no effect on this room.
Yeah.
The only loyalty you're gonna get is the guys in this meeting room, the whole team, the coaches, everybody in the facility, really, right?
Right.
And that mantra worked, and we kind of went on a tear. And dudes were like, whoa, okay, hold on. This Georgia team looks different. To the point we go into Texas, and we shocked the world.
Facts.
Prove everybody wrong.
No one expected
Nobody expected. Man,
you.
I don't even remember. You saw Texas had a damn light show.
Oh, yeah, the
going
drone
on.
show.
Like, you wouldn't even think there was a football game. You thought it was a concert.
Exactly.
And we went in, and we shut the whole world up. And it was like, hey, bro, we're still Georgia. And then we continued that all the way into a SEC championship that nobody after that Bama loss last year in Tuscaloosa thought we would be in. And we won that. So all I'm going to say, Dog fans, is calm down and just let Coach Kirby,
chill out.
Let Coach Bobo, let Coach Schumann do their thing. Because, I mean, their resume speaks for itself. We've won 3 or 4 of the last SEC championships, if I'm not mistaken. 3 in the last 5 years. We've won 3 of the last 5 SEC championships in the past 5 years. We got 2 natties in the past 5 years.
And the SEC is the best conference, hands down, so.
Not even close.
If
you look at the AP, which we're going to get into later, if you look at the AP polls, we have 5 teams in the top 5.
Exactly. That's insane.
Yeah, there's not even – some conferences don't have 5 teams in the top 25.
Exactly.
So, it's not even close. So all I'm going to say, Dog fans, is I know it's a tough loss. Trust me, I'm hurting with you.
Yeah.
None of us wanted to take that loss to Bama, especially at home. All good things have to come to an end when it comes to, records. Records are meant to be broken. And I promise you, Coach Kirby and all the coaches are working to start a new record. So we get to 34. So these future classes are building up to, hopefully we make it 66. We double the record next time. So just calm down and let Coach do his thing.
Facts.
So I want to get into, more national talk. Did you watch any of the other games this week?
I'm trying to remember.
Penn State.
It's a pretty long
Oregon.
weekend. We couldn't watch that because that was going on during the game.
At the same time. Ole Miss played LSU.
I think I saw briefly a little bit of that game, but I didn't really. Other than that, I didn't really see any other games.
Did you hear about the Lane Kiffin news?
Oh, it's his daughter.
His daughter.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So what did you think about that? Because I thought that was funny. The whole take the over thing.
I don't even know. I feel like that's a weird situation to be in.
That's a bold move by
that
the
is
line.
a bold move.
I thought Whit Weeks was a little bold. I was like, you gonna post up with this dude's daughter?
Hey, if that's how he wants to roll, that's how he wants to roll. But that was crazy. I did not expect that.
And I will say, of all coaches to do it with, Lane Kiffin.
That's what I was saying.
Because Lane Kiffin. So he's not. I was no disrespect. He's not necessarily the scariest coach in the SEC.
Yeah,
I would probably put Kirby up.
Oh yeah,
I would put Kirby up there in the scariest coaches. But what makes Lane Kiffin a coach, I wouldn't do it with none of them. Mm-hmm. But if I was with Weeks, Lane Kiffin is very media savvy.
Yeah.
He's going to find every way to twist something.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just look at comments and put, Coach Kirby look at something and I don't even check my phone.
Right.
Lane Kiffin responding to everything.
Yeah.
So did you see the one piece where he was like, the linebacker told me my daughter calls him dad.
Oh, I did not see that.
So I made his whole state call me dad.
He said that? He tweeted that out or something?
He said it in a press conference after the end of the game.
Oh, that's crazy. I
saw that and I was like, that has to be fake. I looked it up.
No way. He actually said that? I swear I had no idea he said that. That's insane.
Yeah, so when I saw that, I was like, man, this dude Lane Kiffin, he moving like
he's not playing.
He moving like this Kendrick versus Drake.
Dang. No, that's insane. I'm not going to lie.
So I want to go into, the Heisman. That's something we check out every week. If you had to give me your Heisman's 4 players? It's kind of like Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, 4.
Right? Give me your top 4 Heisman guys right now.
Ooh. Okay, no order.
Okay.
I guess I can't include John Mateer because he's hurt. Well,
when does he come back?
I think
2-3 weeks?
2, 3, 4 weeks.
You know what? If it's 2 to 3, I'm gonna say this. Let's say 2 to 3 weeks. I'm gonna say yes. He's still gonna be in there because he was balling. So, and I still think he's gonna keep balling. So I'll give him that. No order though. So John Mateer, man, I think Beck doing pretty good too.
Carson doing sweet.
Good for him, man.
No, I'm happy
he's really working out there. So I'll say him. Ooh, this is where it gets a little interesting.
I will say
Man.
this year, because the teams kind of feel so even. There's not anybody like, in
Yeah.
like when we were kids,
Uh-huh.
you had like a Cam Newton, and it was just like, oh, he's clearly running away with it.
Yeah.
But back then, before NIL, which we're gonna get into later, teams were like vastly lobsided. So it was like a Lamar Jackson, he's hurdling dudes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like dudes
like
are running
last year, you can kind of tell it was
Mm-hmm.
Travis and Ashton Genty.
But like this year, teams feel, as NIL keeps going, these teams are going to get so much more evened out, where it's like, who's really, it's harder. It's not just going to be about, okay, he has the most highlights, he's the Heisman.
Yeah.
So you said Carson, you said Mateer.
And then, I want to go off on a, ooh. Okay,
you
this
got a sleeper one?
I don't know if it would be a hot take, but I feel like you're not going to expect it. Okay. I'm going to say Ahmad Hardie from Mizzou, running back.
He's balling.
Have you seen his highlights? I'm like,
me and Branson were talking about him this week.
Bro.
We said he might be one of the best backs in the country.
He's tough. I can't lie.
He's nice.
I'm not even. Yeah, like he's good.
He's nice.
His like yards after contact is insane.
And he's kind of tall. He's kind of built like I think he's like 6'6" for a running back.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
He's like a Latavius Murray height almost.
Yeah, and he's pretty stocked. So I was like, dang, like
I like Mizzou's team. Damon over there balling.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Darius Smith over there doing good. I like Mizzou's team.
So and like obviously I like running backs. I like seeing other running backs. Do
sure.
good. So I mean, it's kind of, it would be cool to see another running back, going to Heisman, like
for sure,
finalist. And then obviously last, I gotta, or not last, but I gotta be biased. I gotta say my boy Gunner, bro, because I feel like he's just how can you not like him? Like, and I feel like he really could be a Heisman finalist. I mean, the way he works, he's an all around quarterback. I mean, if you've seen his film, he's made some like insane reads, and he's a pretty like ballsy player, I feel like, in a good way.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I would like to see him like 100% just maybe even win it. That would be nice.
So I gotta point it out. You said Mateer, Beck, Ahmad, last name
Hardie.
Oh damn, Ahmad Hardie, and then Gunner Stockton.
Yeah.
3 are currently in the same conference. 1, I'm gonna say, got developed in the same conference. So 4 people have SEC ties.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
And now we're seeing the top 10 AP poll now has 5 SEC teams. After coming off a season where Ohio State won the national championship, and it felt like the non-SEC fans finally got their leverage to say, oh, the SEC's overrated. We told you, like, it's never gonna, it's not. This ain't 2010 anymore. Like, nobody cares about SEC football. It's all about Big Ten, ACC, Big 12, all these other nonsense conferences that play sorry teams all year.
Yeah.
What is it about the SEC? Whether it's tradition, whether it's the fans, whether it's atmosphere, whether it's the intensity of the coaches or the players. Mm-hmm. What is it about the SEC that is just so much different from the other conferences? That where, it truly means more.
Right. I don't know. I guess just the physicality of it all. I mean, I go back and I see other teams play, and I just feel like they just don't. I don't know. The SEC, it just runs so deep in tradition, and from just recruiting and all that, and I just see everybody just working like in the SEC, like physicality, all of it, the speed, the size, everything comes together. The coaches are all great, literally all of them, and I don't know. I just feel like everybody wants to play for an SEC school. And so when you have like a group of people who are like everybody who wants to play for the SEC school, you got all these great athletes and stuff like that, the portal and all that, and it just runs deep. I feel like
So if you had to name one reason, because obviously you wanted to play at Georgia, that probably had to do with you being from Georgia. But why do you think everybody wants to play in the SEC? I mean, Ohio State has history.
Yeah.
Ohio State and Michigan is the game, as we hear every year. Army and Navy is a big game. Like, there's a lot of other schools, University of Miami, Clemson. What is it about the SEC? You could even tell me from your because I know you can't speak for every kid.
Right.
But from your personal experience, what was it about the SEC that made you were like, nah, I gotta play in this? Because I'll tell you this, even growing up as a kid, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
And I was a Miami fan growing up, but I was like, man, that SEC,
that's
a different vibe.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like growing up, I've always heard about just the SEC, like they won the Natty or SEC team, SEC this, SEC that.
Heisman. First pick.
Exactly. So I just feel like the success really runs deep all throughout the SEC. And like you can say it for any SEC school. And I just feel like everybody wants to compete for the best. And I feel like the SEC is the best.
You know what? I'm either gonna get supremely praised for this acronym I'm about to make up, or be supremely cringe. But I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Just go ahead, man.
SEC. Oh wait, where's my camera? SEC. Success Efficient Conference.
Okay.
You feel me?
All right. I feel you on that.
A lot of first round picks. Jaden's not liking it off camera. But we got a lot of first round picks, a lot of national championships, a lot of Heismans. Success Efficient Conference.
You just come up with that?
I just came up with that. When you were saying that, I was like, that is true. I was like, man, Jim Thorpe's, Belitnikovs, all this, Doak Walker's, all the special awards kind of run through the SEC.
That is
so
true.
Like John Mackey's, Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
We got a few dudes. I mean, that's what I'm gonna start calling us, the Success Efficient Conference. Yeah. My dad gonna be happy with that verbiage I use right there, the vocab. But I want to get into the more fun stuff, right? So you came last year, and you got in the whole great awakening. I don't even want to say rude awakening of connection,
right?
And what that means to Georgia. Sometimes connection isn't always. I won't say isn't always positive, but isn't always patting you on the back. Sometimes it's getting on you, as we've seen. Dudes on the team. Even little dudes like me are not scared to bark at anybody when it comes to, hey, we got a standard. Like they say, the standard is the standard.
The standard is standard, man.
The standard is the standard. So if you're not meeting it, that's on you. You got to raise it. But I do want to go positive. Give me your best locker room moment that you can share.
Okay, fair enough.
That you can share. What is your best locker room moment, whether it was after a game, whether it was after a scrimmage, a practice? Give me your best locker room moment where you felt that real connection. That's the whole point.
I have a few in mind.
Okay.
Obviously, I would say after I enjoyed every locker room atmosphere after every win. So I'll just say that because everybody was all jumping up and down, music and that. I will say I did for some reason enjoy the Friday morning lifts.
I tell everybody that Friday
something
morning
about
lift.
it. It's just because you brought in a lot of energy, so it was kind of like cool. Like, and we were done. We were all just like, hey, like in the locker room.
Yeah, Friday morning lifts. I miss those too. Running back room Friday lifts.
I'm saying so. Those were nice. Let's see. Ooh, there were some times during the spring I would say where we just have free time before like a workout or whatever, where we'll all just be watching. I don't know. I think we were just watching just people like some of our friends doing combines like Malachi Stark stuff like that.
Say that was one of mine.
And everybody was surrounded around the TVs, and I was just like, it just felt nice because everybody felt like we were all together in a way. We were all cheering on an old former player, and it just felt like so surreal and nice. I don't know. It made me happy. So one of my favorite moments were actually both of them are the combine best locker room moments. When Nolan Smith, it was my freshman year, but heading into the spring of my freshman year, Nolan Smith ran like a 4.3 at the combine after we won the second championship. And that clip went viral of all of us like jumping around. And I remember being in like that room. And I think I was on the phone with my dad, and he's like, man, what are y'all doing in there? And I was like, Dad, Nolan just ran a 4.3. Nolan just ran a 4.3. And like dudes are throwing water bottles. And it was like, man, like you wouldn't even think that anybody was worried about whatever their own problems are. It was just, man, my brother is doing good. Yeah, I'm happy. That's all. True Mudita, as we like to say. True Mudita, finding joy and happiness in other people's success. So, I mean, that was those moments you never forget. I'll also say this one, locker room, but it was actually this year during the NFL draft. We were watching the team room, and it was so cool, like seeing Malachi, Michael, all the guys, Jaywalk, it was so cool seeing all them drafted and all of us jumping up and down, just celebrating. It just put everything in perspective. We worked with all these guys. I got to see them all develop and turn into the the players they are now, and it was just so awesome.
One draft moment I have from this season or this past year that I didn't even get to tell you about, and he's like one of my best friends that I'll like always have a great like every time I see him, we damn near bear hugging each other. Tate Ratledge.
Oh yeah,
we were locker.
I knew you were pretty close with him.
We were locker neighbors for the first 2.5 years at Georgia, and like in a joking way, we went at it every day. Like that was one of my boys down to for life. And when he got drafted to the Lions, I remember like I literally like told my girl, I was like, whoa, like whatever we were watching, I was like, whoa, like all due respect, shut up. Tate just got drafted, and she's like, man, okay, that's cool. And like maybe a day or two later, we're just going out downtown Athens having fun, and I go to Polly's sometimes, for the food and the crepes and stuff. Yeah. But I haven't really stopped in there that much. But then I look in the corner and through the, Polly's has that clear glass, and I see that long old mullet, and I was like, well, we got to go in. I don't even look at the bouncer. Like I'm like tunnel vision. The bouncer's like, well, I was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. I bust through the door and I just started singing. I was like, Tate. And he like, his big old self clears out everybody. He's like, Hardie. I was like, bro, I was almost in tears. I was like, bro, I'm so proud of you. Like, I'm so happy. Like, that's awesome. That was one of the best moments I've had at Georgia football, and it had nothing to do with me because I was just so happy to see him finally get, especially all the injuries he had went through here, and how much of a leader he was. Finally seeing his, him get that recognition and finally get to the goal he's been chasing, and now balling in the league. He's starting on the Lions, and they're doing amazing.
Right.
It's one of the best moments.
That's Mudita right there for real.
Real Mudita. But I want to finish it out with this. You've been under Coach Kirby for now this being your second year. And, one of the things that I love about college football, different from the NFL, is, the NFL, college football is becoming a business, but there's still a family aspect to it. Like we talk with these connection stories and all these things. Where in the NFL, it's kind of like, hey, bro, you got to be here. You got to be in meetings from 11 to 1, and then you got practice from 2 to 4, and you're out. There ain't no like, hey, bro, you want to go do that? Hey, bro, I got to get back to my family. Like I got to do this. I got wife and kids. I got, people, dudes are doing whatever. We're at college, like, hey, man, let's go back to the dorms. Let's go get a bite to eat. Coaches, Coach Crawford, we're meeting their families. We're hanging out with their kids. It's a different vibe. What is one of the, I won't say the most important. What is the biggest thing Coach Kirby or Coach Crawford, any coach at the University of Georgia, has taught you outside of football?
I mean, as simple as we're just a family, like these are our brothers for life. We're constantly around each other every day. This is a team sport, so we have to build that connection kind of, but it comes naturally because we're always close with each other. And I mean, I just feel like it's the biggest part about, having a great football team because to know one another, it will allow you to play, your best game for them. And I feel like those relationships that I built in the locker room have just grown into some like lifelong friendships. I know I can count on a lot of people. I know I can count on you. I feel like you're a brother for life. And I feel like that's just one of the best, I guess, things I've taken from my experience being here is that, like brotherhood. So
I love that. And I think you brother too, fam.
Appreciate you, dog.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Beyond the Hedges. Again, I'm your host, Jacob Hardie. Thank you for joining me. My guest.
Yes, sir. Brandon Mathis.
Powered by the Players Lounge, a.k.a. TPL. Thank you again to our host, Athb&B The Rushmore, located at 5 Points Athens, luxury bed and breakfast. Thank you for hosting us, and we are out. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.